Is there a river or creek that's not going to be at flood stage or above across Oregon?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
It just depends on how bad you're talking with flood stage. So you have major flood stage and then you have your average flood stage. So everyone's going to be approaching that flooding point. I mean, you have all this rain coming in the mountains too. That's all going to be running off.
It's draining down to our area.
Yeah, and some of the snow melting off too could just compound the problem. So it is rough out there. Take a look at our rain totals. Look at this.
Oh my God.
December rain today. Okay, keep in mind for Portland, a normal month in December is about 5.5 inches. We are in it for a week and a day. It's December 8th, and we're at 6.5 inches. So we're at almost 5 inches above normal, and we still have 3 weeks left of the month, and we still haven't gotten into the heftier rain totals tonight. Salem and Eugene, Astoria too, everyone in a surplus. Eugene has been really struggling this year, and it looks like with all this rain, we're going to see you guys even start to pull out of this drought situation a little bit just because of how much rain we're going to be getting here. So take a look at the rain totals. We've already picked up almost an inch or more than an inch of rain, I should say, for Portland. By the time we wake up tomorrow morning, we're looking at rain totals between 1.5 inches to 2.5 inches across parts of the metro area, and there will be isolated spots that could pick up anywhere from 2 to 4 inches just because we're going to have this rain coming over the same places over and over again. So 61 degrees, winds gusting to 31, sustained at 25, so the winds are just now really ramping up. They're going to continue to be that way as we go through the next several hours, and we could even see some gusts up near 40 miles an hour, and when you start to see 40-mile-an-hour gusts, 45-mile-an-hour gusts, that's when some of these trees could really start to go. Out there right now, light rain getting a little bit of a break right now, and that is the good news. Forecast models showing that we could see a break for Portland down south towards Lake Oswego over the next couple of hours before it really starts to ramp back up again. So that does give time to some folks traveling south at least to kind of get out of Dodge before the really heavy stuff moves back in. Meanwhile, up north, Orchards up towards Amboy, St. Helens into the Cascades back along I-84, the rain really just pretty relentless, and you can see more of it developing back to the south and west, and it's all pushing to the north and east. And I circled this whole area here. This is where we're going to see the heaviest rain, the biggest totals as we go through the overnight hours and into tomorrow as this front finally slides on through. And of course, what we're tapping into right now, the front hasn't even gotten here yet. We're just tapping into this really, really deep moisture back from the tropics, and that's why also it's so warm. We had record warm lows this morning. Temperatures started off in the 50s. That's warmer than a normal high for this time of the year. So tracking it all 5:30 to 6 o'clock. Most of the heavier stuff stays to the north and out over the higher terrain. 7 p.m. Again, a little bit of that break across parts of the metro and valley. By 9 o'clock, it picks right back up again. We're talking moderately to heavy rain showers coming down right over the same places. 11 p.m. to midnight, still getting those heavy showers going over the same locations, but it does start to dip a little farther south as this front swings through, and then it continues through the overnight hours, 2:30 a.m. And look at this, we're still talking quite a bit of heavy rain, but at this point, the heavier stuff would be over the higher terrain, and then we wake up tomorrow morning and it does slide to the east, and we're finally getting that break. So the heaviest stuff yet to come. And we're going to see strong winds when that arrives too, especially with that front right around midnight. Those winds could really get cranky across the metro, the valley, and then again for the coast range and coastal areas back to the Cascades too. Tomorrow afternoon, we'll start to see the snow levels drop, and we'll start to see that changeover from rain to snow for the mountains. So some better news there. Winds gusting between 5 and 7, 35 to 40 miles an hour. Midnight, that front starts to slide through, 40-mile-an-hour winds and maybe even up to 45-mile-an-hour winds. And you can see those 60-mile-an-hour winds for the gusts, and then for the coast, and then for the Cascades, we could see gusts up near 70, 75 miles an hour up at Mount Hood, and that is hurricane strength. Wind advisories continue until 4 a.m. And then, of course, in orange here, high wind warnings where we'll see the strongest winds. That continues through 4 a.m. And then here's a look at the latest gusts again, 30 to 40-mile-an-hour winds out there right now. Bend at 44-mile-an-hour winds as well. So your overnight forecast, more rain and wind to light showers for tomorrow. Tomorrow we're getting a break. I-5 mid-50s, light showers, still blustery, central and east breezy, a few scattered showers, temperatures falling. You'll notice more of a chill in the air tomorrow. Cascades, rain, snow, and wind. Snow levels down to 4,000 feet by tomorrow afternoon. Flood watches continue because we gear up for another system tomorrow night into Thursday that will bring in strong winds and more heavy rain. And then yet another system this weekend on Saturday could bring in potentially more strong winds too. Though rain totals do look to back off a little bit once we get through Thursday's system. So don't forget to download the PDX weather app. There's still a lot more crazy weather to get through really this week, and this definitely comes in handy.
But back to today, it's just getting started. This was going to go through most of the night.
We picked up an inch. We could pick up another inch to 2 inches on top of that.
Isn't that
tonight.
something?
And compared to that record day we had yesterday. So,
all on top of it.
So everyone drives safe out there.
Right.
But we do